Today is quad witching and Tesla stock is ripping higher, breaking above $260 per share. As we talked about in the video yesterday, it looked like big money was placing bets for that 250 to 265 range, and it has not stopped today. Even bigger bets are being placed on a continued rally with Tesla, and man, is there the news to support it. Multiple headlines coming out today on Tesla that if you are an investor or you are trading this rally, you need to hear about. And we're going to give you the latest in this video. So hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and source your comments, questions, or concerns down below in the comment section, especially if you like to grow your net worth, if you want to make more money, if you want to reach financial freedom. This is your place to be. Speaking of growing your net worth, if you want to come grow your net worth with us, with a trading community where I send out all of my trades in real time, we're going to have a live news wire. We're going to add different strategies and concepts to trading that you probably haven't heard of before, like how to day trade with options with an account less than $25,000. We're going to have quote unquote course-like material in there that will be added to over time. You guys can come join. Link down below in the description of this video for the Patreon. We already have 2 members in there. Again, invitations come out on Monday, so if you guys want to be the first ones in this, link down below in the description of this video. I should also point out that there's also going to be some real estate stuff in there, so if you want to come learn how to buy good deals, how to rent out properties, find tenants, things of that nature, that's what I personally do outside of YouTube. I own 3 rental properties myself and a licensed real estate agent, so there's going to be something for everyone in there. If you want to check it out, link down below in the description of this video. Nonetheless, let's get into the info. Now let's go ahead and kick this off with the first headline. Tesla is reducing shifts at its Gigafactory in Berlin, but they're expected to keep production on track, which they are targeting about 6,000 vehicles to be built every single week. So they're basically getting rid of a shift. How they're going to keep production on track, I don't know, but that's their claim, and the market's like that. The market's like less expensive, same production, same output, less cost. That's basically what you're getting here today. This news came out about 5 hours ago, and it is encouraging to Tesla stock. Now, on a bit of different news, Elon is meeting in Europe today at the Viva Tech annual conference in Paris. And when I say these European leaders are begging Elon to build a factory in Europe, they are literally begging Elon to build a factory in Europe, whether it's Spain, France, or Italy. They are all encouraging Elon to build the next gigafactory there. And it looks like it's going to be highly subsidized. And I think the markets are going to take this as a positive thing, as we've kind of seen with Tesla stock. That's exactly what has been happening recently. There's no announcement yet. Elon is speaking currently, and I'm sure there'll be some headlines from that, and we will bring you the latest when those details do come out. Now, according to the RBC, Tesla's valuation could soar by another $150 billion due to the rise of the robotaxi. Now, this is not a long-term call. Believe that or not, this is a short-term call, because they say, quote, the robotaxi is the strongest of several factors that will help the stock extend its breakneck rally, according to RBC, the Royal Bank of Canada, I believe is the abbreviation there. Now, this is an interesting point that they point out, because they say that, quote, this could potentially transform society and account for over 70% of Tesla's future value. And they say that robotaxis could have a market share of 25% in North America, an 9% share in Europe, and a 7% share in China. What I find most interesting about this is a lot of people are starting to get excited about the robotaxi. Now, whether you think this is 6 months away, 5 years away, it does not matter. Markets are starting to price this in now. And this is the most interesting topic because even if it's a year from now or 2 years from now, markets price in good news long before it actually happens. That's why typically you can get a buy the rumor, sell the news kind of event. If this rumor is going to take a while, then you could have a buy the rumor effect for a very long time with Tesla, long before you ever see a single robotaxi on the road. This, again, leads me to believe this rally probably needs to go a lot higher. Now, the RBC also did raise their price target from about $215 per share all the way up to $300 per share, or $305 per share to be more exact. They raised that price target actually from $255.90 per share to $305 per share. Now, also in the news today, Elon Musk is having a lunch with Bernard Arnault. He is the second richest person in the world, and there's a lot of talks about Twitter and Tesla that are going to be taking place, and some pretty positive comments coming out about this. We'll see if any news headlines are generated, but this could be something to keep on your radar. Much bigger than that is how the Tesla Supercharger network could be worth $100 billion according to this latest analyst. It says, quote, analysts are trying to estimate the value of Tesla's Supercharger network as the NACS connector becomes the North American standard and could widen Tesla's charging lead. One of the top Tesla analysts believe it could be worth more than $100 billion. Morgan Stanley's Adam Jonas, one of Tesla's top analysts, tried to estimate what kind of value this charging business could add to Tesla. Jonas and his team believe over the long term, Tesla could produce and store its own solar electricity to power its superchargers. Based on that assumption, they build a few scenarios using various estimated percentages of U.S. miles driven with electric vehicles in 2030. Supercharger market shares powering those miles driven, an average efficiency of 4 miles per kilowatt hour, and revenue of 30 cents per kilowatt hour. It goes on to say that they do a 20x full year 2030 net operating profit after tax discounted at a 9% weighted average cost of capital. And a reasonable case assumes 10% EV mile penetration, 50% Tesla share of supercharging, and 30% net operating profit after tax margin to lead to a potential net present value of $3 per share for the business. And it could add up to $14 per share to Tesla's actual EPS. Now, the dominant case assumes 30% EV mile penetration, 80% Tesla share of supercharging, and 70% net operating margin to lead to a potential net present value of $33 per share. So, all in all, these new partnerships have added billions to the long-term value of Tesla, and that is a big reason why Tesla is going higher. It's all pricing in this future good news and this future business that Tesla is going to have. It's not about really what's happening right now, more or less. Markets are trying to figure out where Tesla is going in the future. And all of these positive catalysts and all of this positive news recently is making that picture long-term look a lot brighter. Now just wait for this headline. According to Morgan Stanley, we should expect Tesla to launch a full-scale financing arm. And they say that it's time for the EV maker to create a subsidiary to finance retail sales. This could potentially draw in more customers as Tesla wages a price war against its rivals. It says, quote, for years, Tesla could sell a car for cash or minimal leasing, but as Tesla looks to acquire the next 5 to 10 million, customers require new solutions in a market where 90% are bought on monthly payments. The bank's analyst said in a note this week, quote, we think the time for full-line Tesla FinCo has arrived. Now, let me summarize this note from Morgan Stanley for you. Basically, GM did this a long time ago. Back in, I believe it was 1919, they started to help finance a lot of their vehicles because they started to gain a little bit more data and understanding on their customers to make it not as risky, right? If you know and have specific data on people you are selling vehicles to, like credit scores and payment history, stuff like that, you can come to a reasonable assumption that these people are going to pay back their loans. Now, Tesla has obviously a lot more data than GM did at the same time, and Morgan Stanley goes on to argue that Tesla could make a more accurate decision to finance to an individual or not than even typical banks or credit institutions could themselves. So Tesla could generate a lot of money based off of this, essentially taking out a financing institution, those fees and, monthly recurring payments that a bank or, again, a financing institution would make. Tesla could keep in-house, but they could also offer a lot better terms. They could get people in these vehicles with lower monthly payments and still make the same ROI, still make the same return as they typically would just being outright, compensated by the financing companies. So I think this is a very interesting prospect. And I don't know how the markets would respond to this because a lot of people think, default as soon as they hear of a company taking on more liability. But I think this would drastically improve Tesla's overall business. Like Morgan Stanley says, it's time for this. That Tesla would have a huge benefit if they actually started to do this. So I think this is another one of those interesting headlines. This headline from MSN says Tesla stock is set to rally after a pause. Analyst sees Q2 deliveries, Cybertruck frenzy boosting the stock. This is a very interesting take. It says, quote, he also noted the second quarter employee trading window for Tesla stock closes on Friday. Cybertruck frenzy. Black is more enthusiastic about the Cybertruck launch. When a new product creates news like Cybertruck will in Q4, potential EV customers will go to the Tesla website or Tesla store and the entire brand lineup benefits. This happened in 2020 to 2021 when the Model Y was launched. Black said Tesla's volume growth swelled from 36% in 2020 to 87% in 2021, he noted. The analyst is of the view that the consensus volume growth estimate for 2024 is way too low at 27%. So right now that's priced into Tesla stock is 27% volume growth in 2024. I think a lot of even the bears would argue that that is probably too low if we avoid a recession, if we actually do have this soft landing in which even the Fed just acknowledged this week. It looks like we're going to have a soft landing. Inflation's going to be higher for longer, sure. The Fed's pretty much done raising rates unless inflation does tick higher again. And the Fed themselves sees lower unemployment by almost 0.5% than they previously thought in March. And they see GDP a lot higher than what they expected in March, up to 1% by the end of this year. So the consensus view is way too low for 2024. And I think part of what we're seeing now, or what we will see as Tesla stock does start to break above, $300 and $350 per share, is a better volumes number for 2024. I think that almost certainly has to come at this point. Now, why I think this analyst take is really interesting and why I resonate with this a lot is because I have had now two people in my personal life say, like literally come up to me, they're like, have you seen the Cybertruck? One of them works at GM, one of them does not, and she's a female. I have no idea where she heard about the Cybertruck, but she did. Said, have you heard of the Cybertruck? I said, yeah, I invest in Tesla. Like, I actually make Tesla videos. They're like, this thing is awesome looking. Like, they're like, I don't know if I love it or hate it, but it's different. Which, I mean, I think a lot of people are going to have that reaction when they actually see these things out on the road or see them talked about in the news. And I think this is a good point. It will drive people to Tesla's website. It will drive sales to Tesla. And I do think you could be targeting what Elon thinks, a 50% volume growth in 2024. So that means the stock needs to go a lot higher from here. But if we do go ahead and take a look at what's happening on the day today, Tesla well outperforming the markets. Tesla up 1.67% at the time of recording this video. The NASDAQ virtually flat, as well as the S&P 500 up about 0.1% for both of these two. Tesla's breaking above $260 per share. You have seen a wave-like trading action recently, and even though you're hitting the highest levels today that you have seen, Tesla hit a high of $263.47, the RSI is no longer hitting a new high. You've actually seen the RSI reset a little bit, not as much as we need to, but it has reset a little bit and could give Tesla more room to rally to the upside. Keep in mind, today is quad witching, so specifically in between 3 and 4 p.m. today, you're going to see a lot of volume with Tesla, and there's been a lot of calls placed on Tesla. So there's going to be a lot of assigning, a lot of people that need to go out and buy stock. So it would not surprise me if Tesla really ends on a high note today. It ends into an uptrend. Now, if we take a look at some of the option activity for the day today, you have seen 217 orders totaling $157 million with a positive order value of 92%. Over the past week, the positive order value has been 72%. And let me tell you, look at some of these positions. July 21st, 320 call. A 320 call for July 21st. That's just right around the corner. A July 21st, 310 call. A July 21st, 320 call. July 21st, 320 call. July 21st, 320 call. It looks pretty unanimous. People think Tesla's going a lot higher from here. Look at this one. A January 17th, 2025, $600 call. And they bought that contract for $1,600. A June 21st, 2024, $750 call. What? Some of these are just insanely bullish. Another July 21st, 310 call. So it looks like by all counts, Tesla is about to go absolutely crazy. It's going to rip. You do not want to be short on the stock. Keep in mind, I am not a financial advisor. I am not a financial planner. This is simply looking at the news, looking at how hedge funds and institutions are currently positioning in Tesla, and it's 92% positive today on a quad witching day. That's massive. So I think that explains it in and of itself. Not to mention, Tesla has massive short positions that are getting absolutely blown out. Short sellers down over 50% in the last 3 months. The current dollar amount sold short in Tesla stock, $23.5 billion. Although you might not see the same 100 or 200% rally from here that you can see in some typical short squeeze stocks that go through short squeezes. But this will add incremental buying pressure along the way for Tesla and help keep Tesla stock higher for longer as shorts do start to get squeezed and be forced to cover on those short positions. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it here in this video. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel and source your comments, questions, or concerns down below in the comment section. You guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one.